Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 23, Cohesive and Divisive Dimension of Religion. In this lecture, we are concluding the unit. Religions all over the world have attempted to provide some answers to the mysteries of life by gaining access to unknown factors which are operating beneath the visible phenomena. Everywhere, religions, especially at the folk level, celebrate life rather than mourn it. The religious fairs and festivals in the India or elsewhere are joyous scenes where families, their kith and kin, networks of villagers gather clad in fresh clothes and exchange greetings. As noted earlier, these religious fairs, for example, the Pushkar Mela held in Pushkar near Ajmer, Rajasthan, are important market for the trade in the hinterland. Cereals, livestock, urban manufactured goods, etc. are exchanged on a large scale. These fairs are held in temple towns which are now made accessible through modern transport. Lafcadio Hearn, writer on Japanese culture, makes a remark on Japanese temples, Buddhist or Shinto, as follows. Religion brings no gloom into this sunshine. Before the Buddhas and the gods, folks smile as they pray. The temple courts are playgrounds for the children, and within the enclosure of the great public shrines, which are places of festivity rather than solemnity. Dancing platforms are erected for no inconsiderable time. One may live in the midst of appearances like these and perceive nothing to spoil the pleasure of the experience. Hearn's remarks would be applicable to any place of worship. The view of Max Weber that religion in India was driven by overworldliness is not correct if seen from the totality. It is true that ascetic and monk may stay away from the ordinary pleasure of life and lead thereby a life of deprivation. But for most people it is a celebratory aspect which motivates them to work hard, save money, and use the available surplus to participate in a jatra or melas in a temple town. In any case, it is not poverty or despair which makes individuals, men and women, to renounce the world. It is the higher perception which holds all human pleasures and pains are illusory that makes a person ascetic. It is a fact that men and women from a well-off background have renounced the ties with the world on a voluntary basis. In medieval Europe or India through the ages, this has been the practice. The Guru, the Satsang, the temple and the pilgrimage are the abiding anti-structures that seems to absorb the vociferous trend in the Indian society. It is these agencies which underline the oneness of Indian society in the midst of diversities. The sociologist can constructively interpret the division in order to gain an understanding of its cohesiveness. In the West, there has been in recent decades much debate on the separation between state and church. Although the constitutions of Western countries have separated the two on less formal level, and separation is not complete. As mentioned earlier, the Nordic Europe is broadly Protestant, while the Southern Europe is broadly Catholic. The main reason for the bitterness regarding this is that the European king used to take a partisan view in enforcing the public policies. The ruler happened to be a Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox Christian. During his rule, the other religious groups in his realm had a feeling that they were discriminated against. The Indian experience was quite different. What guided them was their commitment to the Dharma, which was non-sectarian. Emperors like Ashoka propagated Dharma, which included the welfare of different religious sects. The term stands for the justice in broad terms and goes far beyond ritualism, sectarianism, or bigotry. Even at present, there is a proper understanding of this term. There is no need for opposition between religion and state. Both can be complementary to each other, and together they have the potentiality to usher in a new India. Here we want to close this lecture, and we have come to the end of the unit. Thanks for listening.